Here's a certificate of analysis. THCA 0.21%, Delta 9 0.08. Run the math the state uses. 0.21 times 0.877 plus zero point zero 0.08, and you get 0.264%. The line is zero point 0.3, so this is under, comfortably under. And our checker won't tell you it passes. That's not a bug. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly why and why I'd argue it's the only answer you can actually defend. If you run a licensed hemp shop in Texas, you already have COAs. That's not your problem. Your problem shows up the day somebody asks you a specific question about a specific product, and the vendor sent me a lab report isn't the answer to it. Most COA tools are built to make you feel finished. Upload, green check, done. That feeling is worth exactly nothing in the moment you actually need the file to hold up, because a green check isn't a claim anybody stands behind. It's a screenshot. So we built ours to do the opposite. It tells you what the document supports, what it doesn't, and which name rule each answer belongs to. Three findings on this specimen. Two say needs review. One says meets requirement. There's no overall score anywhere on this page, and that's deliberate, because is this COA good isn't a real question. The real question is always good for what? Which requirement? As of when? Here's what a clean answer looks like. Lot or batch identifier. The requirement is named 25 TAC section 300.301. It's in effect. The evidence is the actual string pulled off the document. TX EDU 24018. That's a finding you could hand to somebody. It says what was asked, what was found, and where it came from. Notice there's no what would resolve it section. Nothing's unresolved. Now the second one, COA expiration date. Same requirement, same rule, in effect. Needs review. And the evidence line is 4 words. Extracted value, not found in document. That's it. The checker isn't guessing that the date is missing, and it isn't guessing that it's fine. It looked, didn't find it, and said so. And then it tells you the way out. A version of the lab report showing the expiration date or confirmation from the issuing lab that the field appears somewhere else in the report. That's an email you can send this afternoon, not your COA failed, a specific missing field and the specific thing that closes it. That's the difference between a tool that grades you and a tool that works for you. Back to the first one, because this is the one worth understanding. The arithmetic is right there. 0.21 times 0.877 plus zero point zero 0.08 equals 0.264% under the line, and it still says needs review. Here's the reason, in the product's own words. Verification of the rule's enforcement posture is pending. Until that verification lands, this rule renders needs review, not pass, not fail. Read that again, because it's the whole point. The number is fine. What isn't settled is how that rule is being enforced right now. And rather than paper over that gap with a green check, the tool leaves it visible and tells you a human should look. It even date stamps when the regulatory state behind that answer was last reviewed, because an answer about a rule is only as current as the last time somebody checked the rule. One more thing, and it's the part most retailers haven't priced in yet. Same document, different rule set. Watch the findings change, not the scores, the questions. Texas asked 3. The federal definition asks 2, and they aren't the same 2. Federal hemp definition, total THC. The citation is Public Law 119-37, Section 781. Effective scheduled November 12th, 2026. Same calculated number, 0.264. Still needs review, and for a different reason. The scheduled federal definition changes which cannabinoid values count toward the limit. And the second finding doesn't even get a review status. It says unable to determine. That's the honest output when the document doesn't carry enough to answer at all. Not a fail, not a pass. We can't tell from this which is a real answer and one you can act on. So here's what I do with this concretely. 1. Pull one COA off your shelf, a real one, for something you're actually selling and run it. It's free. It takes a PDF up to 10 megabytes, and the document is processed in memory and never stored. Not written to a database, not to storage, not to a temp file. 2. Ignore anything that says meets requirement. Those are done. 3. Take every needs review and read the what would resolve it line. Most of them resolve with one email to the lab or the vendor. 4. And this is the one people skip. Run the same document against the federal rule set. November 12th is not far away, and the question being asked of your paperwork changes on that date, whether or not your paperwork does. One thing this doesn't do and won't, it never renders an overall verdict, and it never tells you a product can be sold. A COA is one document about one sample. That's not a whole product determination, and any tool that tells you otherwise is selling you a feeling. The checker's free. Links in the description. If you'd rather work through one of your actual documents with me, there's a 30-minute working session at the same link. And if you want the questions before the answers, the shorts on this channel are the ones I'd start with.